Look now, though, at a group that Australia looks like being very tolerant towards. That is the ISIS brides from Syria and the 42 children that they've got with them. Now, most Australians will have a lot of sympathy for those children especially, but there are a lot of concerns about who's coming back, what their private beliefs and affiliations have been in the past, and what sort of a security risk they might pose to this country.
And every Australian has a right to ask that question, as I do. I don't trust their beliefs. You know, it told me when they left the country, they went over there, they supported their husbands in this fight. They say they will do anything to come back here to Australia. What I understand is some of them are actually permanent residents. They're not citizens of Australia. Therefore, we don't have to take them back in. They are a citizen of another country and should go there to that country. The government says that we can actually keep a better eye on them here than what we can over there. That's a stupid statement. I don't agree with that either. They say they'll do anything. Well then, ask them the question, do they intend to ever get rid of wearing the burqa? That shows them for what they are and what their beliefs are. Because that would be one thing I'd be asking of them. Would I want any of my grandchildren sitting beside these kids in school? I don't. Chris, I'm very protective of the Australian people. And I sort of think, these kids, we've seen pictures of them holding a severed head and proud of it, standing beside their parents. It's installed in them. We have kids of young as 10, 12, 13, 14 signing up to be martyrs for this ISIS and what they stand for. They hate Western civilisation. So I'm concerned from every Australian. Will we be able to keep control of them? Will we know their movements? They say they're going to have ankle bracelets on them. What cost it to the Australian people? The ongoing cost, they will not be employable unless they get rid of the burqas.
Big issues here. We need to hear a lot more detail from the government about this because of all those issues you raised. But on the broader issue of immigration, we've got a skills shortage in this country. We've got very low levels of unemployment. It seems pretty clear that Labor are about to announce significant increases to our immigration program, probably in the budget later this month. Do you think that there's any way to avoid this? Obviously, you're very cautious about immigration, but we need more immigrants now, don't we, especially to fill our skills shortages?
Well, you go and tell the Australian people that, who are, in parking lots on our highways, who actually have to wait a couple of months to go and see a doctor, who cannot stay in a hospital bed or get a hospital bed for that elective surgery that they need. You tell Australians their way of life, their standard of living, how that has dropped. Our nursing homes, our schools, our, everything that we do in this country, rental accommodation. You're going to have, 1 million people coming to this country over the next 5 years, and it could increase more than that. Skills shortages is because of people sitting out there, over 900,000 that are on the dole, on welfare, long-term welfare recipients and fourth generation, or those have been on for 30, 40 years. We don't need this. And I knew the skill shortages years ago, Chris, and that's why I fought for the apprenticeship schemes. I knew there'd be shortages of nursing back in 1996. They damn well knew about it as well. They've used this as a reason to bring in more migrants only to prop up the GDP. It's about the Australian way of life, and that's what I'm fighting for. So you look up after the housing, the cost of living, and give people the services they deserve in this country before you bring in more migrants. And businesses only want it to increase the numbers here in Australia so they sell more white goods. It's not going to benefit all Australians. Get those people off their backsides to get them out off the dole and get them out working.
Plenty of challenges starting to mount up for this new Labor government. Thanks for joining us, Pauline.
My pleasure. Thanks, Chris.